Hello, Libra. Here's your Tarotscope reading for the year 2017 as it applies to your sign. See what they have to say about this. Huh? What's in store? Four of Pentacles. So, Four of Pentacles, it says, it applies to Libra. The sign of balance, give and take, fairness, just. Okay. In January, as this applies, Four of Pentacles to Libra, I'm kind of seeing in here a little bit of having to overcome a sense of lack, that you are not that somehow you haven't had that fair deal. You know, the neighbor over there's got it a little bit better than you do, we'll say. But you work harder, it seems. So I need to remind you that the abundance of the all gifted card, what it says in the first place, it's talking about that the possibilities are limitless. That this all gifted is a unique card to this deck. It's basically the God card, the card of universal abundance and potential. Come to terms with and realize that those scales, they swing both ways. It's very much a pendulum, and sometimes it's to this side, sometimes it's to the other side, and all in the end, it is fair. You guys are pretty well familiar with what karma with karma and who that is and what that all means. Oftentimes in our lives, it appears that we our lack, but it's because of the choices that we've made to get there. Oftentimes, not always. Sometimes we just get dealt that poor hand, and we have a taller mountain to climb, but we can still get there through our efforts, and owning the responsibility of our life is what we make of our life, and just as everybody else. So the all gifted card here, like I said, it talks about the absolute abundance that exists. The Four of Pentacles shows a holding on tightly to what we have, thinking that that's how we grow and achieve. But we know that it's not. We have to let things go and keep that energy of abundance flowing to have it in our lives. There's a diplomacy that comes along with the Libra energy. What can I give so that I can get? How much do I have to give so that I can get? We need to make sure that we lose that as the overall mentality, I guess you'd say, and understand that it's not we don't receive because we give. We give to keep the flow going so that it comes back to us. We give first that we receive, and the harvest, I guess you'd say. So let loose a little bit, and and see what comes. Put it to a test. Okay, when you give a little, you receive in proportion. If you open the gate just a little bit further and let more out, more investment, well, the return is that much greater too. So start with that, and let it, like I say, put it to the test, and know that justly what you sow you reap, right? So you guys know that more than anybody. The Hierophant is in February. It's like I say, tradition, the way just the way it's always been done. Okay, I think January. I'm going to step back. January is going to be a month of kind of self-reflection and getting your footing. Okay, the Four of Pentacles is a card of stability. Okay, you feel safe and stable by holding firm what you've got. But life isn't so much about holding firm to what we have. It's about release and letting go and letting flow. Therein lies the magic. Okay, the Hierophant, like I said, it's a card about tradition. It's just the way we've always done things. Sometimes the way we've always done things isn't necessarily the best way to do things. I believe that the January reflections come to a point of enactment in February, where you do test a little bit more and you give a little bit more. If you feel like you don't have the love in your life that you want to have in your life, you don't have the friends that you want to have, that's a reflection of what you've been putting into the world. The Hierophant talks about letting go of tradition, or just the way we've been doing things, taking a new approach to things. Is one aspect of the card, I should say. It's not the only. But so I see February a point of actually investing before the promise of reward. So, and moving forward that direction. The Ace of Wands in March, I believe, is the inspiration. Like, ooh, wow! I invested this. I invested this, and I received all of this, and I think that inspires you to invest a little bit more, and that opportunity is there to do so. I guess is what I should say, maybe. The Ace of Wands, it's an opportunity, of course, to come to that realization, to understand, to feel, to whatever aspect this is. But it's definitely a fired and excited opportunity. It's something that you can really pour into. So go ahead and do that. And like I said, keep your eyes open for that, and your mind open to the possibilities and the potential. Six of Cups comes in April. It's a card of joy and remembering nostalgia. As children, okay, childlike is a big theme of the Six of Cups. I think maybe that there's after this inspiration of the Ace of Wands in March, now in April you have this Six of Cups energy that comes in and reminds you, like, of the being a child, what that really means. You remember as your little kids, typically the idea, the energy of a little child is they're so giving. They just want to give. They just want to share. I've got this here. Come play with me. You share my toy with me, or they're sharing of their kisses, slobbery, drooly kisses as their little bitty babies, of course. But they just want to give. They're free with everything. They haven't experienced the lack of life, and the fear that, I might not have. If I might not have, I better hold tight to what I have and not share. Okay, that's a learned thing. We need to let that go in a hurry. Of course, we need to be sensible with stuff. There are absolute pitfalls and traps along the way, but in general, it's an expression of love and giving. To be as a child, and the Six of Cups. Remember that the sweetness of life, what it is to be a child and feel so free, and when if you remember that when you invited somebody to share in what you had tenfold over again, I'm going to say that the joy that you had come back to you. Okay, what we give, we don't necessarily always receive in exact form as what we gave, but the benefits and the reward are so much greater. So keep that in mind in April. Okay, look for that. Look for ways you can absolutely just let free and be and see what that gets you. Coming in May, then we have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords and the Four of Pentacles here. I think we carry along a similar line of what stability really means. Okay, it's even though we've had reason and experience and an example of what it takes, or what happens when we give, when we let loose, when we be free. It's still that adult nature that says, no, I got to hang on to this. I got to hold tight. I got to shore up. Winter's coming. If I give this away, then I won't have. All right. The Six of Swords is a card about our letting go of thought processes, and only keeping that which serves us to move forward to that better place where we want to be. What serves our growth. What actually builds the life that we want to have. Okay. The Six of Swords, as to the Four of Pentacles there, the letting, we know, we understand, we come to realization that if it's kind of as I've said, if I don't have and I give away, I'm just gonna have less. Okay, well, but what are we realizing? What are we understanding as our abundance, as our prosperity, as what our treasures are and what we're gifted? Okay, is holding on to that $10 getting you so much more and so much further ahead as it would be to take that same $10, invite a friend out for a small lunch or breakfast or a cup of coffee, and what you can share and experience in that. The Six of Swords, like I say, is a different way of thinking about our resources, and once we let loose of that, how freeing that will be, and we assume that that freedom as a child, we regain that again. So as we move on around, we have in June we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of mastery, learning our lessons, figuring out when to give and when not to give. Okay, it's that balance that you guys really enjoy. It's the balance of course, the mastery comes in many forms, and the balance comes in many forms, and we still do have to think of ourselves, which is where the diplomacy and comes in, for you guys, that okay, I've got this goal, I've got this achievement that I want to do, but it's not so much of it through a brute force. It's more of, like I said, in a balance, in a going with the flow, letting the pendulum swing back and forth a little bit, and figuring out just when to let go, and figuring out when to hold on, when to negotiate, and let somebody else have their day in the sun, or their efforts, or their desires, their agendas come forward, because sometimes even in giving in the giving of power, in that respect, we actually gain power. So because we gain an ally, we'll say, or however you want to look at that. So the Eight of Pentacles, I believe, is your time of mastering and learning a particular lesson in that. So be aware of where you can let loose of some aspect of power, your resources, or whatever this is, to actually gain what your agenda is, to move forward with your goals and your projects and your plans. July is the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles card about everybody has their part to play. A lot in this is back to that diplomacy thing, okay, that we were talking about with you guys, and the where the Four of Pentacles is, your wealth, your prosperity, your abundance is your power. Okay, how is your power best served? How does it best serve you? And of course, along with your sign goes in that fair and completeness there. How does it best serve the world? So there's a delicate balance in that, of course. But the Three of Pentacles is you understanding it and realizing and coming to terms with that I'm just that cog in a wheel. I need to let others play their part as well, and that's part of that diplomacy thing. Okay, so like I say, the Four of Pentacles itself is all about learning when to give and when to take. Okay, this in July, as it applies to the group now coming larger outside of yourself, in how it goes with how you interact with others to attain your goals. So Ace of Swords in August is I think is kind of that grasping and understanding of that principle, that understanding of that application that happens there in July, and a continuation of it, of course. Kind of gives you that little bit of a wake up. You see the results of this coming about, and like I say, it's that epiphanal moment kind of a thing. It's where you seize the day, so to speak, and swords are justice. Okay, you guys are justice. The swords are that thought process, and this Ace of Swords, oftentimes, like I say, that creative thought, that inspiration, that epiphany kind of a thing. It kind of all congeals and becomes real for you. You understand it, okay, and move on forward. Prince of Cups is our card for September. September, I think that it's going to be it's going to be an emotional month. It's going to be a spiritual month. It's going to be an awakening month for many people. I think in your respect, I see this. Okay, first of all, I want to say this because we'll call it a standard disclaimer because this goes out for everybody out there. I think a lot of you, or at least some of you, and this isn't just a blanket statement, but some of you, it's September that there's going to be in the relationship aspect of your life, the relationship sector. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is our what we hold and what we give away. Okay, I think that in September, the Prince of Pentacles is you are going to be doing a lot of giving and that receiving coming back, okay, in that relationship aspect. And this could absolutely be romantic, but it doesn't have to be. It could absolutely be just at work, whether it's you gain a respect of your coworkers, okay. They're seeing how you're going to help them. Okay, they've got an issue, they've got a problem, and you can help them out of a jam and not leave them floundering to sink themselves, but you can help them. So and the helping, the genuine help, comes from the heart, which is the Prince of Cups. He's that's certainly in that realm. But further out, what you can do for this, as these lessons you've been learning throughout the year so far, they come into play where it really hits home to you, and you understand these, and now which changes your entire outlook as far as your place in the world, and what you can do to help and promote others as well as yourself at the same time. So the butterflies are there. This is they speak of transformation. Okay, like I say, I believe this is a total transformation of who you are and the way you perceive the world. So, moving on to October, we have the Magician. The Magician, he's that's the one card, okay, in the deck, the number one. It's the second card, but it's the number one. That's the beginning, okay. After this realization, whether it be the realization of your impact on the world or the realization of a relationship, whether that's romantic or like I say, work related or just your neighbor, after that realization and transformation comes the real magic in your impact on those around you, the real magic of actually attaining or stepping that much closer to attaining your goals and your dream of whatever this may be in your life. For each of us, it's going to be something different, of course. But so I see the Magician, like I say, like I said, when the magic of your life, of your year, really starts to come into play, and the seeing it, the manifesting of it in tangible form, tangible results, I guess you'd say. And of course, all of this leads into November with the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is going to be a fairly satisfying year for everybody, or month for everybody in general. It's just the energy of that month. But it's contentment, it's satisfaction, it's feeling connected, it's all of these sort of things. But like I was saying beforehand, in the previous cards and realizations that have all come about, that epiphanal moment, that really striking deep into your soul, and the magic starting to happen, you're happy and you're satisfied and you're content with what's going on in your life and what you're achieving, and the fact that you're seeing your goals coming into play. There still may be plenty of road ahead, but you're actually seeing real progress, and this, like I say, brings a great sense of contentment within you. It's not because of the external, it's because of your own achievements that this contentment comes to play. This contentment coming into play inside of you then radiates outward from you in your relationships, in your work. Work no longer feels like a job, but more of a sense of purpose. And you're fulfilling your sense of purpose. There's a contentment in that, absolutely. So anyways, I see that, and that simply leads into December, joyous celebration and parties and including others and being connected and just sharing and feeling the joy and love and everything like that. And it's one wonderful way to close out the year, so, and lead into the next January. So here we have your 2017 Tarotscope reading. If you have questions about this, or you want to go deeper into this, deeper into a month by month or any particular aspect of it, or a different reading altogether, you can reach me at my website. It's shaspirit.com, or you can email me at michael@shaspirit.com, and you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/The Shaspirit. The Shaspirit is all one word. So anyway, thank you for listening, and have a wonderful year.